Alright, so here we are in Pisces season. Yay! The whole month is my season, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so I'm going to go over the water element a little bit, the modality, introversion, and kind of just encompass what Pisces season represents. So Pisces, or the INFJ, is mutable. Mutable signs are the most unstable through their adaptable thoughts and feelings, and most open to influence by the environment. So their mode of activity is to make the transition from the old to the new, opening up the way for the cardinal signs to begin a new cycle. So mutable signs are infinitely flexible and tolerant. They find it naturally easy to let go, whereas cardinal signs begin new things, and fixed signs, they tend to sustain things, so fixated or stubborn AF. Energy loosens structures and adapts it to new and changing conditions. This territory comes mental worry. Mutable signs have many things going on in their heads rather than in tangible form. Many react by making lists. Some suffer from negative mental tension involving fear, paranoia, and panic attacks. And anticipating negative outcomes, they really suffer during the worry process, but their high adaptability always sees them through. So Pisces, or the INFJ, actually is a finisher type, as well as Sagittarius, which is also mutable. So you've got Gemini, Virgo, Sag, and Pisces as the mutable signs. So water and mutable, what does that mean? So water represents the emotions and feelings, like I said. So that makes Pisces able to adapt to other people's feelings and emotions. They can connect to them, absorb them, express them, and let them out. They tend to soak up the energies in the room. So of the water signs, Cancer tends to be the wave. They like to create the environmental vibe, and then Pisces just kind of goes with the flow, and then Scorpio is like the ice block in the water. They're fixed signs, so they're very fixated on their own emotions, while Pisces and Cancers are kind of more fixated on other people's emotions. Not really fixated, but in tune with, I should say. So Pisces see feelings and want to make feelings reality. They like to express those. Pisces always want to know how others are feeling. They want things to flow as easily as possible and will do whatever it takes to try to make it play out that way. As a whole, Pisces just likes to connect. They are very flexible and tolerant. They make the transition from the new to the old. So don't forget that the 12th house created Pisces. The 12th house consists of all things that tap into the internal subconscious realm. So that's the imagination, creativity, fantasy, dreams, mysticism, spirituality. They're also connected to the collective unconscious, and they try to make all those things relatable to everybody. They can have a hard time explaining their internal world in words, but they can communicate through arts and crafts like music or presentations. Pisces are known as the ultimate cosmic mirror and are chameleons, so they're very adaptable socially. They are very open to influence, though, making them not as able to create solid boundaries between themselves and others. That is like the greatest downfall, especially in their naivete. So the Pisces energy represents the pullback, the seed or cocoon phase, dying to ourselves to become entirely new, going within, so introversion, going within, sitting back and letting answers come to you. We're actually very responsive in our ways of communicating. We prefer people to come to us with information. So sitting back, letting answers come to you. It can represent closure, how we do things on the inside and then put it out there. So sitting still, connecting before moving, coming back to the value of being bold enough to make beauty in the world. So it's just kind of like taking a step back. Exploring and sharing vulnerabilities, being vulnerable enough to stay still. So Pisces is actually very feminine. It is a feminine sign. So the essence, it also represents the essence of things, so physically, in words, motivations, and intentions. So it's the essence, it's the seed, all the things below the surface that you don't really see what's going on there. It can represent not being in tune with time in a linear fashion. So Pisces are very aware of the quantum realm or field. So it can represent inside out thinking, or very reflective and contemplative. So finding our feet beneath us before moving forward, taking inventory and strategizing. So Pisces is a very strategic, not a tactical personality type. So it can also hold a childlike wonder, kindness, and even blissful naivete. I've been told that I am a very kind person, but I can be naive to other people's intentions. So Pisces do see the potential. They see the good and the potential in everyone. So introversion, Pisces leads with introversion. Introversion is described as a person with lower levels of extroversion in the big five. So introversion is characterized by self-awareness, reflective, taking time to make decisions, and feeling tired after being in a crowd. People who are introverted tend to have fewer friends and associations. Man, this word's bumpy, but form strong relationships with those friends they do have. Instead of seeking outward stimulation, they are content with their own company and tend to be more cerebral and reflective than extroverts. So, Pisces can actually act more, we're the extroverted introvert. So, people can tend to not realize that we are introverts, and when our social battery dies, it's like, what is wrong with this person? So, we do get our energy from being with ourselves and other people. So we need to focus on one thing at a time to concentrate. That is definitely a thing. Feeling comfortable. We feel comfortable being alone. We prefer to write rather than talk. I hate answering the phones. That took a long time, and I still have issues with that. We tend to daydream or use our imagination to work on a problem. We can tend to retreat into their own mind to rest and need more alone time to recoup. And this is introversion within a Pisces, can seem quiet and hard to get to know. Too much stimulation leaves you feeling distracted and unfocused, like to learn by watching, and drawn to jobs that involves independence. So, Pisces season embodying the transition between winter and spring. Aquarius season is a time to treasure your wild individuality and lean into those qualities that make you unlike anyone else. But Pisces season asks us to not only recognize our individuality, but realize we're still connected and interdependent. The barriers that keep us isolated from each other aren't quite as solid as they appear to be. So everywhere in this season, the power of winter is beginning to fade. The days are lengthening and the sun grows warmer and the chill begins to lose its bite. We can begin to see light at the end of the tunnel, but we are not quite there yet. It is the pull back before the massive spring forward. Pisces carries the connotations of mysticism, living a contemplative life. It represents the sage. Pisces is or shaman. Pisces is less concerned with the external mechanical details and practicalities than they are with the emotional currents running deep beneath the surface. They're less focused on the material world and more focused on bringing the realms of the mind and heart within oneself and outside of oneself. The natural world is beginning to transition from the darkness-dominated half of the year into the light-dominated half of the year. We need to prepare for this transition mindfully so that we don't disrupt the equilibrium of the emotional and mental sides of life. So the mental and emotional, two fishies going in opposite directions. This is a good time to catch up on rest before spring whisks us up into a whirl of action. It is a great time to spend more time outside and truly be grateful for warmer days, knowing the spring is almost upon us. It is the calm before the storm and the beautiful bustling of life. We are emerging from our period of hibernation and changing out our wardrobe. So it is a creative time to express ourselves in a bold but silent kind of way, like wearing our hearts on our sleeves. We have a newfound drive to go after our dreams and desires. Pisces are all about trying to bring our dreams into reality. It has a romantic and a need for glam type of vibe. So Venus is an exaltation in Pisces. They're very idealistic and strive for those principles. Pisces can represent all things that are not as they appear. So that is the Neptunian energy. Pisces tend to be able to fluidly move in and out of situations, finding practical ways to ride the wave to the next situation. So we can tend to be kind of slippery. We tend to avoid questions. Pisces rules the feet and lymph, which are two ways the body tries to get rid of toxins. We benefit from actively releasing these, as Pisces is an accumulation of all the other signs, and then we are asked to dissolve and transmute all of it. It represents closure, deep reflection, and newly acquired wisdom. In Pisces, we see Jupiter's role as the optimistic, enthusiastically awakened mystic, but within lies a quiet confidence and assuredness in the truth of its own experience. This season is a great time to dream big and release things that have kept us from our goals. So it's a good time to create a vision board, reevaluate our goals, and maybe break them down into smaller steps. Dream big, but bring down into a reality practically by perhaps, creating smaller steps. Anyways, I made it home. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Welcome to Pisces season 2024.